Testicles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Red leather, yellow leather. We're back.
We're back.
back.
Whoa, we gotta clap.
We're back.
We
Oh
gotta
yeah.
clap.
3, 2,
I forgot-
1.
Oh,
Was that? Were you?
ooh, that was
ready?
good. That felt really good. That felt
Alright.
really good. That felt like a really good clap.
We're back,
We're back.
baby. We're back.
It's
been
only
a
a
long
little
time.
bit of time for you, but it's been a long time for us.
How long has it been? Over a month.
I think a month
Yeah.
or close to,
I don't
because I went away, you went away, summer happened.
I think it's been like
Oppenheimer happened.
6 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Barbie. Were we talking about Barbieheimer last night?
We were, yeah.
I mean, last episode.
Barbie makes an atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
A hydrogen bomb? Atomic bomb?
Atomic bomb in the movie.
Atomic. Atomic bomb in the movie, but then his buddy wants to make a hydrogen bomb. And then
Yeah.
eventually does.
Yeah. And then that's when the Rooskies get up to no good.
Got it.
That I
wanna
feel like. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I want to warn that if you hear me like a loud bang or a smack sound, there is
Mhm.
one single fruit fly in my house that
Mhm.
is always just flies towards me, and it
Mhm.
comes towards my bright screen. So I've been trying to kill him for the past like 2 hours. So
Okay.
I just want to put that out there. I'm
Alright,
okay.
well,
It's
Don't
just a
clap
fly.
too early into the podcast, or I might think that it's a synced clap.
That's a clap, I promise.
Just gotta wait a couple minutes. Okay, you should be fine now. We're about 2 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he heard me. I did leave my door open when I was running out with the food delivery debacle, so maybe he finally escaped.
Maybe that's the one who stole your food.
I hope not. Honestly, he's been a menace. And he's been following me. I
Mhm.
went into my room this afternoon, and all of a sudden he was there. Sat down, he was there. It was wild. Anyways, I'm being haunted by a fruit fly. It's fine.
This episode's like the episode of Breaking Bad where there was a fly, and we can't start the episode until you get the fly because we need the cleanest of conditions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a proposal for you.
Okay.
Or at least an update, maybe. I think you'll accept it. I don't think we can do... I mean, we can try and do 2 episodes of Grover, because he did it, he was president twice. But it's pretty tough.
He's not a 2-hour president.
Well, he might not be. I mean, he did stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't it's also during the Depression or the Panic.
Right.
I forget which one it was.
No, another panic.
So, and he kind of got. Oh, there's that fruit fly. God damn it. It wasn't really his fault per se, because he came in. It was I feel like we've been kind of leading up to this event for a few years, for a few presidents. Just so happened to break while he was president.
The what broke the
panic, whatever the bank
economy?
thing was, where all the banks
Right.
just they just crashed and burned, and they just been
Seems like that happens all the time back then.
trading gold too much, and the values were all fucky in very
This-
scientific words.
This was before the banks were too big to fail. They just let them fail all the time.
Exactly.
Okay,
We
so
should just go back to trading pelts, honestly.
we collecting stones.
Yeah.
Can you give me a little review of where we left off? So it was Chester A. Arthur. He had a pen pal.
Yeah.
Named Sally Julia Sands.
Yep.
And she's like, you can do better than this, Chester.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got rid of patronage. I think that was the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, he
we're
had a super
18.
fan.
We're 18. Well, we're coming close to the 1900s actually.
Yep.
Turning
Yep.
the century.
Actually, what I should look up is major events that happened between. That should be a new thing. I like that. That happened in 1885 to 1889.
1885. When was that?
That was when Grover Cleveland became president.
Oh, I see. 1885.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he was president
Oh, right.
1885
seeing.
to 1889,
he was
and
twice.
then he had 4 years off for vacation, and then he came back
Yeah.
from 1893 to 1897.
Pull,
also
pull the
enjoy
Donald
that-
Trump.
They choose to do they post Donald Trump. That March 4th is the day they choose to change presidents. Such an interesting choice of date.
Yeah. I
right?
guess.
'Cause-
Yeah, is there a reason why? Just
I mean, I'm assuming
'cause
it's
it's
just
cold.
because that's when the Declaration of Independence was signed.
maybe.
Well, it's April 3rd. April 30th, sorry,
Well-
George Washington.
Isn't the what happens in January? Something happens in January. Like the elections are always in October.
Yeah.
Is it still in March?
I think
Or is
it's
it in-
inauguration happens in January, and then there's like a 3-month transfer period.
So
But who am I? I'm just a lowly
we're just
Canadian.
podcaster.
Yeah, I'm a podcaster that reads stuff on the internet, regurgitates it back to you for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying you as in the royal you, not just you that I'm speaking to right
As
now.
in me.
Yeah, the
As
many.
in deep throat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, deep throat. Aw.
I almost said my actual name because it's been so long. Since
I know.
I've used
Honestly,
my-
though,
my
I would love it
secret
if you did, because then I wouldn't be alone.
name. You're too in.
Yeah.
I'm
But I
zero.
also am not as paranoid as I shouldn't say paranoid, as protective, I think, as you are. Or smart.
And both paranoid, smart, and
I'm just like, you know
was
what?
that
Take it all, the FBI. You probably have it already. I don't care anymore.
you already got everything.
Major events that happened between 1885 and 1889. In the year 1885, the Statue of Liberty, funded by the French people, shipped and was placed on Ellis Island. Or, I guess, Liberty Island.
That's a classic.
I think it used to be Ellis Island, though.
So I guess the French finally forgave them.
Yeah. Yes, that was their piece. So the America gave them, not gave them, but commissioned the construction of the Eiffel Tower, and French commissioned the construction of the Lady Liberty. So that was their peace treaty of monuments.
Did they give anything back in return?
Yeah. So America gave the Eiffel Tower, and the French gave the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I didn't know the Eiffel Tower was American.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you just said before I made it.
That's
You repeated
okay.
it twice.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's worth saying twice. I thought
Because I know I was listening the first time.
It's okay. I literally, my brain has been pudding for the past 2.5 weeks, and I definitely
We're
felt,
sloppy.
I felt
We've grown
myself
sloppy.
slip into a sweet madness when you asked me that question. I was like, no. Maybe you said it wrong, because I say things wrong a lot.
No, I'm just a bad listener.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay, so let me get this straight. Americans go to France and they take pictures of
I
things that they gave.
Yes. Well, it was constructed, I think, by a French designer, but it was funded by the States. So the States was like, here's a bunch of money. We're gonna hey.
Did they
also,
give the medal?
I don't know
So they
if I'm
just
telling this right. I
gave
just
them-
know there's probably a slew of French people who are cursing my name right now.
Hey, so let me get this straight. They just sent them a blank check
I'm looking this up
and
because
said,
I feel
buy
like
some metal, hire a designer, go get yourself something nice, France.
I'm 90% sure. Because it was done by Gustave Eiffel, or Eiffel, who built the tower, designed and built the tower. I'm speed reading. For some reason, COVID is in here. During its construction, the Eiffel Tower surpassed the Washington Monument to become the tallest human-made structure in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the
tall?
time when it was built, it's
At the
not.
time.
Probably no longer holds that.
No, fair enough.
The title was world a title it held for 41 years until the Chrysler built. So the Chrysler Building in New York City is currently the current holder, I guess. Due to the addition of a broadcaster aerial at the top of the tower in 1957. There's an aerial tower now on top of the Eiffel Tower that technically beats out the Chrysler Building, so they're playing a little competition there. I could be wrong. It doesn't say
a poll.
But I feel like I heard that somewhere. I don't know why.
I didn't buy it.
Eiffel openly acknowledged the inspiration for the tower came from the Lading Observatory built in New York City. So there's something there. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the French gave them.
How do you spell Eiffel?
Eiffel. Don't know why I said L in a little bit of French accent.
I got my own private AI right here. A lot has changed since last shot. I got my own private chatbot on my computer. It says the Eiffel Tower. Sorry, she says my private assistant. The Eiffel Tower was designed and built by Gustave Eiffel, a French civil engineer. It was constructed between 1887 and 1889 as a temporary structure for the 1889 World's Fair in Paris. But it soon became an iconic landmark and was since been permanently installed in the city.
I think I've gaslit.
Did the Americans?
It was not a gift.
Have anything?
It was built for the fair that was at the World's Fair in Paris.
Dutch, you're just spilling out lies. It says no, the Americans do not have any direct involvement in the Eiffel Tower.
I think that I've been lying.
Did they send a British?
My education, my Grey Goose Vodka County education has failed me. But the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France, but America just never returned the favor. I don't know why I always thought that. Huh.
See, it doesn't sound very American to me.
10 urban legend, and also that's the thing too. Is like I could. It makes more sense that they don't return the favor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like what's the point of a gift if you have to compensate?
That's true. That is true. You should never give a gift with the expectation that you're gonna get a similar, like a gift back. It should always be. You find something, and you're like, this person needs this box of chinchillas.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, okay. 1886, Carl Benz patents his first automobile, calling it the motor wagon.
Whoa, so it was his first vehicle, or the first vehicle?
No, it's just a patent for a vehicle, for the car. So it hasn't even...
So I think the gears are turning.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's got some sort of idea, he's putting a patent to it, he's going to build it, and it's going to eventually, I guess, become a thing. 1887, the first American golf club is, I guess, created. That's all it says, is just first American golf club. 1888, George Eastman introduces the Kodak No. 1, a simple and inexpensive box camera.
So it's like Instagram.
Instagram taking off in 1888. And then 1889, Oklahoma Land Rush. The Oklahoma Land Run of 1889 begins at a high noon on April 22nd. Which I vaguely know that just from the play.
It kind of seems like the Industrial Revolution is just beginning, in a sense.
It's popping off.
Things are starting to pop off. Yeah. Okay, so check this out. I asked my private chat assistant, tell me about Glover Cleveland, and it says, I'm not sure who you mean by, quote, Glover Cleveland, unquote. Can you provide more information? And then I said, the U.S. president. And I said, I understand now. Sorry for the confusion. Glover Cleveland. Grover. It just spells it Glover Cleveland now. Glover Cleveland. It's you can tell it's really being patient with my my stupidity. Glover Cleveland was the 22nd and 24th president. So I'm just being I'm flashing my AI. I'm
card. Knowledge.
Yeah. I'm just I'm flexing my.
All right. So yes, he was. He was also a mayor and governor in New York and Buffalo. He his winning fame is he was very like anti-corruption, so he was always coming in and making sure things weren't being corrupted or being ill-used in politics.
Mm-hmm. He was the first Democratic president since before
Correct.
Abe Lincoln,
Yeah.
right? Is this before the Democrats were the Democrats still racist,
I mean, I think
or did
yeah.
they get
I mean,
over
no,
it?
because I mean everyone's in the U.S. is racist. I think that's a correct statement, right? I'm kidding.
So, today?
Yeah, like since we have time, everyone's just racist.
Right, but I'd say now the Democrats are in my opinion, the Democrats are
Less
less
racist.
racist
Correct.
than the
I
Republicans.
mean, I don't know.
these
I don't
days.
know. I don't know anybody personally, so I can't. In a court of law, I can't say anything to that. I would say possibly just because of his like, he wasn't from a rich family, and New York loved him. He was like one of those like I think one of many like super loved New York governors and mayors. He was tight with Theodore Roosevelt, who becomes president in 1901.
Is there any relation to I don't know if you know this. Is there any relation to FDR and Teddy Roosevelt?
I don't know.
Father and...
I don't think so. I feel like that's a misconception. It's definitely not. It could be grandfather, maybe. But I mean, it's not unheard of, right? Like that you would have.
They were distant
There you go,
cousins.
yeah. Because I knew it wasn't father and son, but their last name. Who knew?
They're part of the Roosevelt clan.
Do, 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 do.
So what? Remind me why did the Republicans finally lose? Was it because
I think because they finally
It was
put
just-
somebody in the Democratic, made someone as the Democratic leader who was a bit more working class. I think that's what swung the popular vote. Everyone
I see.
loved him. I think too, and I'm gonna say this, and everyone just remember the whole Eiffel Tower story I just told that I know nothing, and this could be a complete lie. But I'm pretty sure, even today, New York is a pretty big ticket. Like, that's a lot of voters and a lot of swing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that was, like,
Definitely.
the start.
Yeah.
And that's also, like, where that area of the States was, like, where everyone first immigrated to and then slowly expanded across the country, right? So there's they've been established there for a while.
And I can confirm, I'm fact checking you as we go. It says yes, New York is a large state in the northeast.
It is a large state. Awesome. That's a point. I'll take it. But he led the Bourbon Democrats, which was like a pro-business. And it,
did that have anything to do with alcohol?
I don't think so. I think they're trying to be like Cool's Boys Club, but they were pro-business and opposed to like high
they drank
tariffs, free silver, inflation. They were so they were basically like they were big with like farmers and veterans. So he easily won the popular vote, the Bourbon Democrats refers to a Democratic Party who were ideologically aligned with the fiscal conservatism, so philosophy towards fiscal policy
really?
and responsibility. There's a lot of big words here that my pudding brain is having a hard time understanding. But they're free market, political freedom. Like he's like anti-corruption. He's like pro-business. He's like I want to support the working class. I think also too. I think he knew that they were coming into this like new age and wanted to like support those businesses.
Yeah. This guy sounds all right to me. Is he your favorite? Is it too early to ask? Is he your favorite? Who's your favorite again?
I love
Abe Lincoln?
Abe Lincoln. I feel like he's on a separate list, right? It's like you have to love Abe Lincoln for just all that he did during the Civil War. My favorite.
You're racist.
from the past has been Van Buren. And why I liked him, I don't know. I think maybe just because he was Dutch, which is a high possibility. But there's something about his presidency I remember reading about that I was like, he just seemed like this sweet man who just wanted to be president and kind of fucked it up a little bit.
Who is the sweet man?
Martin Van Buren. Yeah.
How did he fuck up?
I don't know. I that's what I'm saying is don't ask me. This was like so many. It was like, when did we start this podcast? I feel like we talked about this last year. I don't remember last year.
It was at the beginning of the year. We're 8 months in. We're almost halfway.
Okay, so it was 8 months ago. I don't know. But that's all I know is I remember I picked him as my favorite. I don't mind him. Grover Cleveland's pretty cool. He won praise. He was like very self-reliant. Like he was known as like a veto president, so a lot of legislation would come through and he would just like veto it instantly. Like he would read over everything and just be like he'd be a hard ass basically and be like, we're not doing that, no, don't worry about it type of deal. He fought against political corruption. He actually even convinced some Republicans to come over and cross party lines into the Democratic Party, which apparently are called mugwumps.
Muggles?
Mugwumps? Which, like, more and more makes me just feel like politics or cult, which I feel like you could argue that pretty easily. Which basically just they switch sides in trying to oppose corruption within political parties. And he was the only president to get married while he was in office. Like, he started his presidency single, and he got married 15 months into his first term. Which brings me to Frances Cleveland, the First Lady. They had 5 children, 4 who...
Was one of them named Esther?
No, but one of them was named Ruth. And there's a fun fact.
He didn't have a daughter named Esther?
He did not. I don't know, but I know at least one of them was named Ruth.
Okay, my
your joke
AI
is...
might be wrong.
I thought maybe it was a joke that I wasn't getting.
Yeah,
children.
it's got it.
Yeah, Esther. Yeah, Ruth, Esther, Richard, and Frances. And more than that.
Yeah, and apparently, 2 didn't get made on the list here,
No.
apparently.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Didn't make
one did die. One died.
Oh, I see.
And then the other, I guess, just didn't do anything with their life.
Didn't get a Wikipedia page.
And Frances was actually an advocate and involved herself with a lot of advocacy while Grover or Cleveland was a president for education.
How old was she?
She was young when they got married.
His wife, sorry, yeah.
She was 21 years old when they got married. And...
Pretty cute.
He was a little bit of an old man. But, she went to college, I think is what I wrote. What did I write down here? She was on the board for Wells College, supporting women's education and organizing construction, the construction of kindergarten. So kindergarten wasn't a thing until she was like, hey, let's have these kids come to, like, a young, let's start teaching younger kids. And even after...
I wonder if that had anything...
Go ahead.
I wonder if that had anything to do with the Industrial Revolution, now that people could work instead of...
Could work, right? Because you got kids going... Well, that was... It's 50-50, right? Because, like, a lot of your rural areas didn't want to send their kids to school because those were their workers. They would have... A lot of farmers would have a lot of kids so that they would eventually work on the farm with them. And they didn't have to hire anybody to, like, till the fields and stuff. And that was always... Even, I think Abe Lincoln was the same way. He got pulled out of school because they ran out of money. Even Grover got pulled out of school as a young age to go work because his dad was a missionary and wanted to just go and, like, help people, but of course didn't make any money. So he had to send his kids off to, like, work at like a really young age to support the rest of the family. So it's like 50-50, but
yeah,
it's
I guess
also
they didn't have child labor laws yet.
There was probably something, but there was definitely probably a lot of workhouses and orphans and stuff like that. After Cleveland's death, she remarried a man named Thomas Preston, who was an archaeology professor. But she continued to work for education activism, and she got involved with Princeton University. During World War One, phone is ringing. During World War One, she was active in the movement to advocate for military preparedness, where she was because I guess the States didn't come into World War One right away. I don't think. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the first time that we mentioned World War One.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
She's
coming right in the corner.
Yeah, 1812. 1912.
11? Let me ask my AI.
Yeah, because my history brain.
1914 to 1918.
1914. I think 1912. There's a War of 1812 though. There has to be.
Yeah, what are you talking about? We did a podcast.
Yeah. Okay. I've lost
Do you
my
remember?
mind. I have nothing left in my brain. It's just pudding.
It has been a long time.
Yeah. Because I was like...
the United States... Go ahead.
Because that's the Civil War, right?
The what?
Is War of 1812 Civil War, or is that a World War?
That's the war against Canada.
Thank you. Well, it's not against Canada. It's against the British.
Against Britain in Canada.
We hadn't become a country yet. Against Canada. Anyway,
It's about against those pesky Canadians.
Frances died in 1947, and she was buried alongside her first husband Grover instead of her new husband, which I thought was an interesting choice to make.
Speaking of war, I watched Oppenheimer with my mother, and apparently she didn't know that they dropped a nuclear bomb.
Oh, Mom!
I'm like, Mom, have you not studied history?
It's like a huge, fallout. This changed how, we operate against how nations operate now. We're basically been stuck in a mutual destruction since that bomb dropped.
Like she grew up during the Cold War.
That's wild.
She didn't know.
I mean, hey, I didn't remember what happened 8 months ago, but still,
True.
I feel like if a bomb was dropped, I would remember it.
Maybe a bomb was dropped on their memories, or maybe she's just getting old.
I mean,
the United States officially entered World War I in April 6, 1917, when President Woodrow Wilson went before Congress and requested a declaration of war against Germany. So they got in at the last minute.
Yep. D-Day.
Yep.
Early life. Grover's father, Richard, moved his family to New York, accepting a job at a missionary, as I said. Eventually, as he grew up, he ran a successful law practice. From 1870, he started his political career getting elected sheriff of Erie County. He became known as an honest man who didn't play games of the machine of politics. With the American Civil War raging, Congress passed Conscription Act of 1863, requiring able-bodied men to serve in the Army if called upon, or else to hire a substitute. Cleveland chose the latter, paying $150, equivalent to $3,565, to George Beninsky, a 32-year-old Polish immigrant, to serve in his place. And Beninsky survived. That was pretty cool. As a lawyer, Cleveland became known for his single-minded concentration and dedication to his hard work. In 1866, he successfully defended some participants in the Fenian Raid, working pro bono. The Fenian Raid, I couldn't find out why he was defending them, but the Fenian Raids
How do you spell it?
Fenian. Fenian Raids. Fenian. They're basically an Irish Republic organization based in the United States, and I think they were traveling between the States and Canada at custom ports, and I think they were like doing shady stuff to get money.
The Fenian Brotherhood.
The Fenian Brotherhood. Yeah.
They're Irish nationalists.
Yeah. Well, the Irish Republic. It's an Irish Republic organization.
Damn.
I don't know if they're nationalists, but.
So the Irish have been like fighting over Irishness since the beginning of the century.
Yep.
Have you ever watched Dairy Girls?
No, I've been told I need to.
I
By
think
like
you'd
a lot of people. Because I've seen clips, and every time I see a clip, it's really funny. It looks like it has some really good like writing.
Yeah, it's very.
Look at the statia. So good.
Oi, what we?
Oh.
James.
James. So good.
Michelle.
So good. All right, 1888 election and between terms. In an effort to clean up, Cleveland vetoed much of his legislation. He vetoed more than twice as many laws as the previous president, and he became known as the veto president. This was also the title or the nickname that Andrew Johnson got. In 1888, Cleveland lost to Benjamin Harrison, who's the next president, who you'll be doing. The race was very close, and Cleveland did win the popular vote, but lost the electoral vote. And when moving out of the White House, he said to Frances Cleveland, his wife, the education advocate, saying that they would be returning in 4 years. Frances said it. She said to me, like, as they're moving out, she's like, we're going to be back in 4 years. I'm not. Like, we got shit we got to do. And he was reelected the next term. During those 4 years, he returned to his law practice, and during that time, just prepared for his return to the White House. And he's the only president that served 2 times, but non-consecutively. Everyone else, they've been doubling up.
Except for Donald Trump, maybe.
Maybe.
No, he's going to prison.
Yeah, he got indicted.
He's he just got indicted again, I think, for something that he can't pardon himself for. So
yeah, that's fucking wild.
He's in jail. He'll be in prison soon.
What a wild world we live in.
Yeah, this story better wrap up by the time we get to him.
Yeah, true. That's gonna be a rough one. Second term, things went bad in the economy. The Panic of 1893 happened, causing banks to fail in economic depression. It was the worst depression here in history of the United States, to the point, up to that point, and the only time worse in the whole history of the U.S. is the Great Depression in 1929. So it's like the Great Depression is number 1, and the Panic is number 2.
This is number 2.
And Cleveland was unsure what to do to lift the country out of depression. The country did not recover while he was president, and he was not nominated again in the next election. So, don't know if it was necessarily his fault that it happened. It started, I guess, during his second term, which is kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just have fun facts.
Wait, what about his second? Or are you not doing his second
Well,
presidency?
here's the thing: is we can do this. Let's say at the start, we can do this a second time. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten most of it done. But
yeah, well, I think it would be good, like, if for chronological order, if you just did the second half for your next.
I will
president.
do a more in depth.
We just gotta fill 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Election of 1844. Okay, so I'm looking through my notes here.
Wait a minute. Cancer. Okay, that's a little teaser for it.
He's a Cancer. All right, cool. I will prep.
I was just gonna say my astrology sign, but that would have been doxing myself.
Ooh.
I could be a Sagittarius. I could be a Cancer.
I think that because I don't know when your birthday is. I don't think. And you can tell me after if I'm right or not.
Here, I'll secretly send it to
Secretly send
you.
me, but I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna try and guess. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
You are. I think you're a Capricorn.
All right, I'm ready to send it. Ready?
I'm so dumb. We're birthday
What,
siblings.
you would have been. Are we?
Yes.
Like exactly?
No, because I'm well, no,
Oh.
not on the same day, but I'm literally like 2 days later. 3 days
Oh,
later.
really?
And I knew this.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, because we started recording on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm such a doo-doo brain.
People might actually know our birthdays, and we just forgot that we told them.
That's true. We will probably talk if there are stands out there. If there's I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
What I hope that happens is that like in 10 years, when
A
all the
decade.
like whenever it's like whatever the next generation is, someone finds this and
Gen B.
Gen B,
Gen
Gen
Beta.
Gen Omega, or whatever the generation is called. They're gonna find these recordings. They're just gonna be
Omicron.
obsessed, and we're gonna be dust. We will be dead by the time this comes around.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be stands.
We'll be like Van Gogh.
Yeah, both of our ears will be cut off. And they're gonna be screaming, being like, "You guys already talked about this, but we don't. That time is an elusive thing, man."
Episode 8.
Episode 8. You already know that tracks.
Timestamp 4 minutes 20 seconds.
Honestly, best sign. But I'm
Yeah.
adamant.
So you're the same sign as me,
sign as
because
you?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good
Yep.
sign.
Uh,
People always say, I always say, oh, I don't believe in astrology, and then they say that's exactly what a blank would
exactly. My favorite ones are like the Venn diagrams, or there's a couple Instagram people I follow who just do like memes, and they associate memes with the sign, which I find really entertaining. But the one Venn diagram I found was like if they're a beer, a wine, or a liquor, and our sign is liquor.
say. Oh, nice. I believe that.
Yeah. But it's not so much like we are that booze. It's like the activities that are around it. You know, it's like
We just like to drink it.
yeah, it's
Oh.
like a sipper. It gets to the point. Anyways, that's my
Yeah.
tangent about stars, astrological signs.
A moment on the gums, fervor on the tums.
Yeah, that's how you get a baby sleep.
So I just made that up.
Oh,
Yeah, just a little. You just rub a little bit with your finger on the
yeah,
gums.
exactly. And you drift off
Knock
to
'em out.
Slumberland, which is a great movie, by the way.
'Kay.
Slumberland.
Slumber. Is that the one with Jason Momoa?
No. Well, I think he is in one called Slumberland. But this one is a 2D movie.
Were you telling me about this before? Someone was telling me about this, and I think I had it. I think we
So-
might have talked about this before.
We might have. Honestly,
It was probably the last episode.
yeah. And, Little Nemo in The Adventures
Oh,
of Slumberland.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I have to sneeze.
Solid movie. Solid movie that was like world building, and you only got to see like an hour of it.
Oh,
wow.
woo.
You didn't even mute.
I
That was
know.
wild.
And I was clipping them. It's going to be so loud on the recording. I sneezed right into
You're
the
gonna
mic.
edit it all wrong.
Woo! And I'm kind of dizzy now.
Oh.
So tell me.
Oh, the live action Slumberland is meant to be a remake of Little Nemo.
Oh,
Like it's
like
meant to be
gender bended.
Gender bended, and probably like it's I don't know if it's this, now I'm gonna watch it because I love Little Nemo. That was like my those movies when you were a kid and you were like sick and like you'd watch like one movie.
Yeah.
It was this and Fantasia for me.
Oh yeah, Fantasia's the best.
solid one. Because Fantasia you can fall asleep to, and you can come back and you're in a magical land with dancing hippos and ostriches.
Mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah.
Do-ba-da-ba.
Fun facts. I have a few fun facts. There's a lot of fun facts for Grover Cleveland.
Glover Cleveland? Hit me with
Cleveland's real first name was Stephen, not Grover.
Oh.
He used his middle name as an adult. And I think they suspect the reason he changed it is he was tired of using Stephen Cleveland in grade school.
Steve Cleveland?
Stephen Cleveland, just because it rhymes a little bit.
It is kind of a nice name to a Stephen Cleveland.
Stephen Cleveland. Well, please welcome to the stage, Stephen Cleveland.
Future next president of the United States, Stephen Cleveland.
He's a distant relative of the guy they named Cleveland after.
Oh, Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Grover didn't grow up in Ohio, but he was born in New Jersey and later moved to New York State. Cleveland's first career was a teacher, and he actually taught at the New York Institute for the Blind in Manhattan. He was a teacher's assistant. I don't really know if he has any sort of training in, like, Braille or anything like that, but he taught there.
Cool.
There was an alleged illegitimate child that rumor that was around or came up while he was president.
With who?
They didn't say, but it was around 1874. And then, of course, Cleveland admitted it was possible, but also his law partner, Oscar Folsom, may have also been the father, like, I guess alluding to the fact that they'd both slept with the same woman, so he's like, it could be either of us.
A presidential
And because
freeway.
he was... Exactly. And because he was so honest and blunt about it, it, like, made the rumor die. Everyone was like, oh, you don't care?
Oh, it's like,
okay.
yeah. It's like it lost
He's
its...
like, yeah, it might be. I don't know. And then they were like, oh, okay. I guess we can't use that. People didn't really care.
That's how you squash a rumor quick.
Yeah. Just own it.
This guy seems like an alright guy. Like, he,
Yeah. I'm getting, like... I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's working class, is, like, interested, maybe was not undervalued, but, like, he was, like, an underdog in a way a little bit, where it was, like, they thought he wouldn't do a lot of stuff, and then he was, like, a hard ass and made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
He does get mixed reviews, according to, like, historians when they rank him. They rank him very average. They put him in the same category as Chester Alan Arthur and Benjamin Harrison.
Okay.
They give credits for restoring the power of the presidency in the 1880s. Because I think there was, like, after Lincoln, it was, like, a long shadow to, like, be president after him. So it was the first president that actually, like, it felt like people weren't consistently comparing him to Lincoln. They were just accepting him as he was.
Right. Damn, that was, like, what was that, like, 40 years then?
Well, yeah, because we're probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but he's the 6th president after Lincoln. Now, one president died within, because Garfield was only president for, like, 6 months or something, 6 or 8 months. So you're looking at Andrew Johnson from 65 to 69. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years later.
Damn.
Now, so you'd still have people around that remembered Lincoln, like young folk who would have, like, looked up to him, right?
Yeah.
But it was Cleveland's misunderstandings about political system and economic depression that kind of led to his low rank for historians, right? Like, it would have been crazy that if he could have, like, come in and, like, fixed all of that economic depression that they were going through in the panic, but he did not have the skills to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Baby Ruth candy bar was named after his daughter Ruth.
Oh.
And not after the famous ball player Babe Ruth.
Not Esther?
Not Esther. No, it's not
What
the
about
baby
his
Esther.
two kids who didn't get Wikipedia pages?
Nope. Doesn't matter. They were named after vegetables. And that's all she wrote.
That's all Miss Wikipedia wrote?
That's all. I mean, that's all I gathered from very esteemed. I went to the library. I went to the record stores, and I went and interviewed many people
took a trip down to the archives.
I went to the archives. I did that thing where you put the newspaper in that little box and you like zoom through it and you look at.
You like enhance.
Yeah, you enhance, and then you notice in one of the photos there's an old woman that like is at the grocery store, and you're like, oh my god, she's been alive for 700 years, and then she's the demon that you have to exorcise.
Cleveland family burnt in a fire to a crisp.
A mysterious fire.
A ghost haunts the house.
I did learn my one
hold on. You
word
keep
of the
talking.
day.
Okay, hold on. I have to go give a tissue.
Oh god, he's got the allergies.
Fill in about 30 seconds of entertainment.
I hate when I'm put on the spot, because the moment I'm put on the spot, I'm not going to actually say anything proper. My word of the day is austere, which is severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance. So apparently there was a school that Grover Cleveland went to, and it was described as the experience was valuable and brief, and the living conditions were quite austere. And I had to look that up. That was pretty wild.
You can probably tell by the clarity of my voice that my sinuses are clear.
They're swole. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Clear. Yeah.
Swole.
I got a air purifier, and it's changed my life, but I don't know if it's placebo effect or not. Yeah.
Well,
but I also don't have.
I'm sure.
Well, it's just like it technically takes in like dust and odor technically, and then it's just like, but it's a fan basically, but it's not like an oscillating like to cool you down.
If you took the filter out, would there be a bunch of gunk in there?
Probably after a while. I haven't looked at it in a little bit.
Better than in your lungs, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, but I also have really shitty airflow, so for me it's nice to just have airflow. Mm-hmm. But that's my life update.
Cool. Well, I only heard part of it, but I came in for the end there.
I told them your star sign and your name and your bank account information.
No. How'd you know that last one?
Sorry.
I'll ask Chat. I mean, it's not ChatGPT. It's my private AI. What is my bank number?
What is my bank number? Is your private AI like yours, as in you built it? Like, are you Iron Man with Jeeves?
I kind of built it. I didn't train it. It's based off of a model that Facebook released.
Okay.
It's called Llama 2, and it's a version of Llama 2 called Wizard LM Uncensored Llama 2 13 billion GGML version 3.
So what would you... I mean, Gigi's a good name.
Gigi, I actually have a name for it. I call it Addison.
Oh,
Addison.
Cool.
I always
doesn't sound
wanted
like
to have...
it will come to life and have sentience one day and take over the world.
No.
There's that...
See, I'll ask it, who is Addison? I'll say, who is Addison? It says, Addison is a fictional character, but one based on real-world AI technology. Oh, so it kind of made up a backstory for itself. Interesting. Addison is not a real person, but rather a computer program designed to simulate conversation and provide information to users.
There's a new movie coming out, which, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, and someone pointed it out to me, and I'm sorry if it was you, because sometimes people tell me things, and then I forget who told me, and then I regurgitate it back to them, and then I feel like an idiot, because I've just said what they told me like a week ago. But, that's part of my charm.
Yeah. Part of
when
my
I
charm
went-
is not remembering either.
Yeah, true. Or not listening while I'm talking. To
Sorry,
the
what were you saying?
So during the Oppenheimer movie, I noticed, like, I found the trailers to be an interesting choice of trailers, because normally during your previews you have you pick movies that are of a
Something on
similar
brand,
theme
yeah.
or a similar brand,
Yeah.
and I was surprised
There
with
was
the
a-
choices.
There was
a
one like
horror-
horror movie.
Yeah, it was
that-
they're remaking The Exorcist.
yeah.
It was
Terrifying.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and
Right.
there was The Creator, which that's what I was you saying, Addison
yeah,
AI,
yeah.
which I do want to see
That-
that one. That one
that
looks
does
pretty
look cool.
cool. And
Mhm.
I mentioned that to someone, and they're like, "Yeah, the writer's strike," and I was like, "Oh, duh." Like, right now, there's so many projects on hold because of the writer's strike that they don't have a lot to choose from in trailers. They can only
Right.
release what finished production before the writer's strike. And actually, a good small little tidbit: the Oppenheimer premiere.
Mhm.
What's his face?
They walked out. Cillian
Murphy walked out at midnight. So they premiered it, and like midnight
Oh, right,
the
when
next
the
day
thing
was
started.
when the strike started. He walked out, and I think mid movie probably because it's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sit through a 3-hour movie."
But also too, like if I was the actor and I did all my red carpet stuff and I didn't want to watch myself, I would have left.
Yeah, imagine having to watch yourself in a movie.
Ugh,
I mean,
I
some
can't.
people would like that.
I don't know how you do these edits with this because I hate hearing my own voice.
Oh, you'd be surprised to hear that I don't do the edits, and I'm very behind.
Oh, that's true. But I guess when you do them. But I
Yeah.
guess there's not a lot of editing to it, right? It's just doing the beginning and the end, and then just listening.
Yeah, I
to
just
it.
like cut out the times when you say your name, and
and my bank account number.
whenever I sneeze
my
or sniffle.
address. Okay. Do you do fun sounds at least? Can you put like a little like, I don't know.
Oh, sometimes like if I'm really feeling into it, I'll put it in a
Got
little
it.
jingle.
Got it.
Or one time when we did our ChatGPT role playing
Right.
thing, I added in sound effects.
Got it.
Did you ever listen to the
I
final
did listen
thing
to
of
that one. Yeah, you sent me
The
a
clip?
link. I think I listened to that one specifically because I remember hearing all the claps and the gasps.
Did you ever hear our cookie corner segment?
I don't think so.
There's a cookie corner. Oh, it was a classic to our one viewer.
To our one viewer.
Okay, I'm actually gonna since we have
You
time,
have to
I'm
link
going
it
to
to
see
me.
how many views. I'm not gonna be able. I'm not listening to all the podcasts again.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. I'm gonna see how many views we have. Whoa! We got 6 subscribers. Whoa!
Whoa, we're making the big
19
bucks.
views. This is doing numbers. One of our first episode has 19 views.
Better get that uploading, man.
What is this? Oh my God! So we're on what number of president is this?
22.
22. So I'm 7 episodes behind.
I mean, that's not horrible.
I'll have to like just bear down,
Bear
play
down for
some
finals.
Minecraft, and edit it.
I like that it's Minecraft that you do while you listen to it.
Oh, yeah, it's a perfect thing.
I do love those games that you can just. I mean, that's also a
Multitask.
conversation of like multimedia, like having to do 2 things at once. That like classic TikTok video where it's like someone cutting soap and then it's like a clip from a TV show. So you have to have the 2 things going at
Mhm.
once to keep your attention. But I do enjoy that.
That's the way the kids are these days. You
No.
gotta be doing 20 things at
Yeah.
once.
I used to do crafts when I watch shows. Like I'll do like
Mhm.
doodles or like knitting or coloring.
Oh, coloring's fun.
Coloring's
I
great.
just recently did some coloring.
It's crazy how therapeutic it really is because it just makes you focus and sets your brain off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's Grover Cleveland.
Grover
He had a great
Cleveland.
mustache. And if they ever make a movie about Grover Cleveland, I think he should be played by Jim Beaver, who
Jim
was
Beaver, who's that?
Jim Beaver was Bobby Singer in the Supernatural series. I think he would be a really good.
Oh yeah.
I think he'd be a really good choice.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Just dye it, bleach that stash.
Yeah. Leave that stash and
maybe
shave
don't
the beard a
bleach
little
it
bit,
either.
and you're good to go.
What would the movie about Grover Cleveland be called?
It would be called, what did he was like a no-nonsense
Cancer.
Crusader,
The Crusader.
Bourbon
What was his
Democrats.
kid's name again? What's my kids' names again? No,
Ruth,
that's what we
Esther, and...
It'll be called Ruth's Baby Daddy.
the illegitimate child of Grover Cleveland. No, I think you could go with like the Crusader, Anti-Corruption Crusader, or like Bourbon Democrats would be probably really good.
I like the Bourbon Man.
Bourbon Man.
Mm-hmm. Are you ever gonna go to Bourbon Man?
Burning Man. I would go to Burning Man.
Bourbon Man.
Yeah, I've heard some good things.
You're not worried about sand getting in places?
No, I think because it's one thing to be that one person, but you're together in a community, and it's just, you live in the dirt for a weekend, and then you shower afterwards.
You wouldn't go out to the desert by yourself?
No,
though?
I would have to go with people.
Mhm.
100%.
The player provides.
Yeah, because one, you gotta have a home base, so you got people. I would never, but I'm also a person that doesn't go to a party by myself. Like, I have to know somebody who's there. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can't just show up because I guess that sounds like a silly sentence because like why would you go to a party if you weren't invited to it? Because you'd have to have known somebody. But I mean like close enough. I can't just go to just an acquaintance only. I have to have at least one, maybe two like decently close friends before I go.
I think I need even more than that, because then you're just gonna be like, unless if they also just know you, then that's cool.
Like
but
the host.
then I'd feel like I'd be like a little puppy following them around all that.
Yeah. Because then I never want to be in that situation, so I just don't put myself in it.
Yeah. I once went to a party at a place I used to live at, but the only person who I really knew was my one friend, and he was working. So I used to live in the house.
That's wild.
But I didn't know anyone at the party, and I was like, after a while, I was just like falling asleep on the couch. I was like,
I'm sure your like psyche's like, oh, I'm home. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like I used to live here.
That's wild.
But now it's so weird. Yeah.
I got to.
Do you have any?
Sorry, my only quip that just triggered something. My public school principal lived down the road from me, and when I was a teen, if not an adult at the time, he moved out of his house, and there was an open house happening, and my mom called me.
Oh, so you.
And she was like, "Do you want to go through?" And I was like, "Yes." And like we had obviously no
That's
intention,
so
but we
weird.
just like were curious, and we just like went around being little weirdos. But it was also a small town, so like the moment we walked in, like we knew half the people in there.
Did he have any? Oh, like the whole town was taking advantage.
Yeah, I think
of
everyone
the
was
open
just hanging
house.
because he was
Like,
also
hey, let's go see the
he was
principals.
the principal, and he was also like a huge community member, so it wasn't like crazy weird. We just like walked through and looked at his house. It's always cool to see people's houses.
I'm picturing like Rooney from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, interesting. It was more like Stranger Things type of house. Like very old school,
really?
like 80s style.
Yeah.
We're now no longer talking about present anymore. I mean, I like
My favorite
I
principal.
Like Mr. Zimmerman. We did a.
Oh, that's a good name.
We did a set when he retired. We did a school like play or like send off, and we just sang the Spider-Man song, but we replaced Spider-Man with Zimmerman. And I remember that our one ADHD kid in our class wore a Spider-Man outfit and just did cartwheels the entire time. But like, we sang for like a good minute and a half, and he just continually did somersaults and like cartwheels. It was wild. Anyways, that's my life update. Thanks, everybody.
His name was Zimmerman?
Mr. Zimmerman was.
Yeah, I got my private AI to write us outro.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, I have lines. This is my moment. I can't wait for my Oscar. I'm gonna thank my mom. Okay, sorry. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. My favorite president. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We hope you enjoyed learning about our favorite presidents and the lessons we've gained from them. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast for more content like this.
We never asked to subscribe. Okay, wait.
No, it's
before
very,
we
like, chill.
Yeah, we never beg. We don't like to beg. Before we go, I just want to leave you all with one final thought. As citizens of this great country, it's important for us to remember that the presidency is not a monarchy, and we have the power to hold our leaders accountable. So whether your favorite president is Trump or Biden, or anyone in between, let's work together to make sure that our government represents the will of the people and serves the greater good.
Amen to that. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time.
Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and let's keep the conversation going. This is Deep Throat signing off.
And this is Dutch. Thank you for joining us on My Favorite President. We'll see you all soon.
Wow. Very patriotic.